Hi, this is Jack from Alpha Charts with a stocks to watch video. Today is June 6th, 2021. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security, and I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. All right, and also before we get started, I want to guys make you aware of Trader Lion. Annual Stock Trading Conference, June 12th and 13th. That's in 6 days, 1 hour, 25 minutes. And the lineup is going to be absolutely amazing. Just, giants in their field, right? I happen to be on here too, but again, I would, these guys and gals are just fantastic. And I think there's been a few more announced since this was posted. So this is a big, big deal. Um, Check it out. It's free. Even better, right? It's completely free. There's no reason to sign up for it. There's no reason not to sign up for it. Again, next weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It's a 2-day conference. And again, just unbelievable guys and gals in this thing. So I am really looking forward to learning from all these people. Again, I will have one of the slots to present also. So definitely check that out. All right, so let's go real fast. I want to start with the cues. And so this is, so from the 2002 low to the 2000 high, right? And taking the Fibonacci's extension from there, we have this 368-ish level, right? And I think that level is a big deal, right? It's the 1.618 extension of this entire move. And so let's go ahead and go to a daily chart and see what that looks like on the daily level. Let's just move this around a little bit. And here we go. Here's our channel that so far we've been respecting. Higher highs and higher lows. We're in an uptrend. There's about 9.5% between this point and that point, roughly 9.75, whatever, percent between here and there. That's a big deal because what this happens here is going to be really important. Now, we could zip right through it. I'm not saying this is the area that we're going to top here and totally go down to Q's down here to 260 or something like that, or even 300 or whatever. We could, right? But I think it's the area of interest, and that's the thing that's most important. Um, Actually, there's two things most important here. First is there's a lot of room between here and here, 9.5-ish%. And if you're in growth names, that 0.5%, you could be double that, right? So there's a lot of money to be made between here and here. The second thing is this is an area of interest, not the area, we don't know anything that's going to happen here, but just be aware of it, right? Be aware. And so, see how your stocks start to react in this area. And if, things start to get dicey and rolling over, then we say, okay, well, it's in that special place and we need to be more defensive. If it consolidates and then moves higher here, we were interested in that area. We watched it. Nothing really bad happened, and we kept going forward, right? Kept moving up. Great. All right, so I want to make you aware of that. But let's get into the names. There's 32 names with 3 on my jet fuel scan. So let's start. Celsius, CELH. This was one I was interested in back here and never really got into it. Was waiting for that consolidation, pullback. Never happened. So now we're going to be waiting for the pullback, right? Hopefully it retests that breakout and then moves higher. And I think right around here with the moving averages catching up would be a really safe entry. Don't know if that's going to happen. CHX. I was involved in this one for a long time. I got out of it on this day. It's now kind of made 2 inside days to this bar, just consolidating. So when these moving averages catch back up, I may enter this one again, but I think this flags out right here. That'd be very bullish, great looking volume. WPM, wheat and precious metals. Just looking over here, it has this area. And again, these precious metals, and I'm going to go into a lot of a little bit later, more of these and more of the oil and gas names. I mean, these charts are just gigantic, right? But if you see, this was really important back in 2011. We broke out, false breakout, kind of came back, retested, and now it's trying to break out again. Again, higher low, kind of higher low right there. I can make the case that this is in a nice uptrend. There's your crossover, looks pretty good. That's WPM, FLL. So this was Full House Resorts, and again, you can see this. This is a weekly chart. Let me go back to daily. So it had the beautiful uptrend, right? Sideways movement, VCP pattern, giant volume coming in, broke out, pulled back. Again, I had put these arrows in beforehand. Lower volume on the pullback, right? Retesting the breakout. There's your moving average. So it's checking off all the boxes, right? It's checking off all the boxes. So in my opinion, it's a great looking setup. If it breaks down below the 23-day EMA, or even, depending on your risk, $9.50, whatever, depending on how you want to play this, you know, that would be, but for me, it'd be the 23-day EMA. If it holds $10 and then bounces higher, that would look really good. That's FLL. Next up, FUTU. Good looking name. There's your cross, giant volume in here, right? Nice after earnings. So, you'll play it into this potential resistance. And then if it breaks out above 170, this can move much, much higher. I've been in this one since right around, I think it was here-ish. So we'll see how this goes. Very small position for me though, because again, this overhead supply right here, we'll see what happens. That's FUTU. PLTR is next. I haven't been able to talk about Palantir in a while, but last week and this week, I get to talk about Palantir. So this is now above and holding above the VWAP from the IPO. It's above this area right here. Beautiful shakeouts. I was holding actually into the shakeout, and it took me out, I believe, on this day, right? Of course, the next day, what does it do? Puts in this beautiful reversal bar and just rips higher at that point. But it's what I'm watching. I hold this in my long-term account, so but may trade this one again. Again, it looks amazing. Maybe a little bit extended at this point. So if it flags out just a little bit here, we could potentially make this right side of some kind of base here. Decent amount of overhead supply shown up, right? Because all these folks, they may start to sell as this moves up the right side of the base. So maybe a choppy move, but definitely one to watch. That's PLTR. And if you're going to talk about that one, let's talk about JMIA. Again, one I haven't been able to talk about in a while, but had this, went from $70 to $17. It's a pretty big move, right, to the downside. But now it is breaking the downtrend line. It is trying to get above this area of overhead supply. And we have a moving average cross, decent volume coming in, pretty good looking setup. Same issue with Palantir though. There's a lot of people that are holding back here. The thing is, with both Palantir and JMIA, people in general, I think the mentality on those two names specifically is I'm playing the long term on this one. So I think there's a lot of long-term holders on here that want to be long-term holders. Again, I hold this one and Palantir in a long-term account, and I'm just gonna let it ride and see what happens. Very small positions overall to my percent of my account, but I think the long-term stories on these two could be huge. So I put a little bit parked in there, and I'm not trading them. Again, this one could be a trade if it gets back above this $33 and holds above 33. I like it for a move back up to 48. So that's a big move right there. So I could actually play that on my swing account just to play into this move right here. We'll see. And then it's making a nice base, right? Let's see what happens. Maybe it makes some kind of cup and handle here, and then it breaks out again. So we'll see. That's JMIA. Rezi, REZI. Looking back, just go to weekly, make my life easy. There's your weekly chart from 2019 IPO. It's now at closing highs, highest weekly closing high ever, right? So that's a pretty good title to have. Zooming in, looks pretty good. Kind of wish the breakout was in higher volume, but you can't have everything. It is now above here in all-time high territory. Everything's moving higher, looking really, really good. That's REZI. Plug power. So again, a lot of overhead supply in here. Broke the downtrend line again, back above this potential area. You see the sellers stepping in here, right? And these candles right here. So I'm not jumping in on this one. I am watching it though. If we can get some tight closes, let moving averages catch up, make a good risk reward, maybe it has some potential. We'll see. But definitely one I'm watching. That's plug PLUG. NVCR. NVCR had this giant move, nice little consolidation, right? And now it's trying to get higher. So, a little bit extended, but if it gets above 210-ish, I think this can start to move higher. Again, these moving averages should start to really catch up soon. 23-day, let's see, it's 37 bars. So yeah, so these are going to start to catch up really, really soon. NVCR. Some Chinese names are showing up. And you know how I feel about Chinese names. I'm not ever since Luckin Coffee, which I was not caught in the LK problem, but I've seen it with a bunch of Chinese names with bad accounting, fake numbers, so on and so forth. I don't know if any of these names have fake numbers or not, but Neo is pattern wise looks pretty good if it gets back above $42, $43. And it's funny how all these names that I was watching 6, 9 months ago are showing back up again. Palantir, JMIA, Neo. But they're setting back up, making this bottom, maybe trying to make the right side of some sort of base, right? Trying to break out this bottoming pattern. We got the crossover. So yeah, I mean, again, it's extended, right? But if it gets above $43, maybe it needs to consolidate, then break out. It's a nice place to manage risk again. So I'd keep it small if it was me, but that's just who I am. Tiger, TIGR. Again, another Chinese name, insane volume coming in, breaking out after earnings. I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous. It's funny, it was up 15%, and you're like, oh, it's extended, right? That's what I would say. It's extended, but really it wasn't, because it just went up, another let's see what percentage that is, just to make my life easy. Yeah, it went up another 36%. Gigantic volume coming in, looks really good. That was absolutely the day to get involved in this name. I am not involved, unfortunately. XPEV. So again, another Chinese name. This is the area that's interesting to me. Again, very extended. So just going from 23 to 37, it needs time to base out. But if it can make some kind of inverse head and shoulders, then break out, let these moving averages catch up. Hey, that would look really nice. XPEV, LI. Same thing as XPEV, right? Needs to make maybe an inverse head and shoulders, needs to let these moving averages catch up and then break out. Looking pretty good though. All right, let's move forward to MP, another name I haven't talked about in a while, but it's starting to shape up again. Good volume the last few days. There's your crossover. If it gets above 33.50, we'll call it. I think this could potentially move much higher. That's MP. Bloom Energy. I've redrawn this falling wedge a few times now, but it looks like this may be the right one. It broke out. There's your cross, trying to move higher. We'll see if it sticks or not. But I think it's decent risk reward here. It hasn't moved too much since the bottom. And energy names, as you're going to find out, there's a lot of good looking setups in energy names. Old school growth net. Trying to make that bottom, man. This is a nice looking bottoming pattern or consolidation. It's not even a bottom, it's a consolidation pattern, right? Prior trend was higher. It's gone on for a long time. So it makes me a little more leery of this name. So we'll see what happens with this. But it's definitely one to watch, above 88. Probably can move to this, $100-ish level, maybe. And then we'll see what happens. That's net, NET. Upwork UPWK, broke the downtrend line, retested it. There's your moving average right there. very low, very good risk reward. Obviously, if you use a 23-day like I do, 20 days probably right there too. We'll see what happens. If this rolls back over, I'd be out of it. I have no position right now, but this is looking kind of interesting to try to make a base. Some people could say it's a lower highs, and lower lows, and I could understand that. So again, risk reward though, it's right there, so you're not risking too much if you're wrong. Sprout Social SPT. Again, broke the downtrend line, trying to go higher. Moving average cross was way back here, but it's consolidated since. A little bit loose in this consolidation. I like a tighter consolidation, to be honest, but I like it, against the 23-day, not too far away. So you see what happens with that. SPT, QFIN, another Chinese name. Just insane volume coming in here, right? And breaking out. So again, it is very extended. Maybe it needs to, if it could come back a little bit, retest anywhere in this area, let these moving averages catch up, low volume pullback, that'd be great. QFIN. All right, some minerals, miners, and oil and gas names. First one is PXD, breaking out. Again, going to this weekly chart, it's got some room. Here was just this giant base type looking thing, right? If we want to extend this, we kind of into this area. See, it's just an important area. Looking at it though, I think that if it gets above it, which is trying to, could be a long up here. That's PXD, LBRT. It broke out. We have to go to weeklies for a lot of these. Big area that I'm talking about here because it's kind of choppy, whatever. But it's above the IPO VWAP. Moving averages are all moving up. Trying to break above that choppy area. When you look at it, same thing on the daily. Good volume coming in. That's LBRT. Denbury Resources. I'm not sure what happened with this one. I remember this. It was a pretty crappy stock way back in the day. It probably went bankrupt and then came back and emerged from bankruptcy with, a better debt situation or something like that. I don't know. But I do know that this is insane volume coming in here. The place to buy this was over here, right? Back in November, or even back here, right? That'd have been a beautiful place in December. It's just gone, gone, gone. So if it can make some type of base, that'd be amazing. I don't know if it is. It's just extended and just gigantic uptrend, right? This would have been a great spot to buy it right here. You could have bought it right in here. Anyway, anywhere along this 23-day. So if it comes back and touches, maybe this, if it gets back to $61, $62, that may be an area to look for. Denbury, DEN. SM Energy, nice uptrend, tight consolidation, breakout, great looking volume profile. I mean, everything you want to see. Now just needs to go sideways, consolidate, let the moving averages catch up, and then jump in, right? SM. WHD, Cactus, another energy name. Going to the weekly chart, this is back from 2018, and now it's trying to break out. You see, here's the IPO back over here in 2018. So it's trying to make all-time highs. There's always a good thing when something's making an all-time high. And you see nice, decent accumulation going on in this name. That's WHD. Fang. Again, this one's been around for a little while now. And this has been an important area, trying to break out above it, kind of up, nice little flag-ish looking thing. Going to the daily, fairly tight range, very similar to SM in a lot of ways. Trying to break out. I like the risk reward in this one, right? It's right there, right? There's a 23-day. It's kind of flagging in this little tiny flag in this area, holding up well. So I like that thing. FANG, EOG. Again, just been around forever in a terrible downtrend, really since 2018. But this has been an important area going back for years and years and years. And this looks like it's, starting to move higher. EOG looks pretty good on a daily. would like this maybe this volume to be a little bit higher in the breakout, so maybe it needs to come back and retest. We'll see. EOG. PBR, I believe, is a Brazilian name, energy name. So it's checking off a lot of boxes. Emerging markets, with the weaker dollar, potentially emerging markets should be doing well, and they are. It's in energy names, and so it checks off a lot of boxes there. It's also got this gigantic base that's trying to break out of, right? Yeah, above, we'll call it $12. Above $12 looks good. Won't be surprised if it goes from 12 to 16 or 17. That's a giant move. So check out PBR. LNG. So LNG was interesting. Look at this. I'm going to go to a monthly chart in LNG, right? So we're talking about, this is back in 1980 where IPO'd. And look where we're at right now, right? Hit this here, and now we're back up in that area again, right? Huge spot for Cheniere Energy. Maybe my favorite chart that I'm going over today, just because, the memory here is just insane, right? If, we get to all-time highs, we'll call it, $90 or so. That would be just ridiculous, especially with 31, 32 years of in this range, and now we're going to all-time highs. Yeah, I'm going to pay attention to that. That's LNG. DK. This was an important area, trying to break out. A lot of these names look very similar patterns, so you have to see which one you like the best, which one's showing the most accumulation, maybe which one maybe already broke out versus not broke out. Looking at some miners. Silver, I think, maybe the place to be, but this is a big spot right there. Big spot, nice little consolidation in this area. Decent volume coming in, decent volume, trying to break out above $20.50. So it looks good. And of course, Mag Silver will be in here. And again, trying to make this bottoming pattern a little bit extended, but we'll see what happens. So there you go, 32 names on my list. And then let's look at a few on the jet view. Zixi, ZYXI. Again, these are smaller positions because more volatile stocks, right? Trying to break out of this downtrend, which is doing. There's your cross, trying to move higher. Maybe finding some sellers coming into here, but I do like this above the 23-day. Looks pretty good. Kind of held where it had to hold, and I think it could move up to this $20 level again. That would be a 33% increase. Not too bad, right? If it makes it there. Arch Coal. This one has some really nice accumulation in this base going on here. It's breaking out. It's got a pretty good days to cover and short float. Wouldn't be surprised if it can make it up into the $75 range or so. It's a nice move. So there you go. That's Arch Coal. And then TDUP, TDUP, which is ThreadUp, whatever that is. I think it's online retailer or something. There's the IPO, and had this insane move up. Now it's a low volume consolidation back into the moving averages. It's what you like to see. Maybe there's some sellers from here that are selling right now. Who knows? But it looks like it wants higher, playing against maybe the 23-day EMA over here. So there you go. There's 3 potential jet fuel names, 32 straight setups. It seems like oil and gas is still moving higher. Just looking at 10-year, who knows? I know interest rates are going to play a role in this. It's just kind of consolidating its move. No idea what's going to happen with that. I think we do have space to the upside here, and then we'll see what happens. And don't forget, Trader Lion, that's the URL right there. I will link to it in the description below. So you just click on that if you're interested. Again, it's free, so why not be interested? Tons of people to learn from. Look at this lineup, man. It's just sick. So do that. Make sure you click there. If you like this type of content, like and subscribe below. I really do appreciate that. Let me know which ones you liked. Let me know what I missed. I'd like to see, get ideas from you guys too. I do appreciate it. Y'all have a great day and good luck trading this week.